Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honor and praises to Apostle Elders GMS taught me this truth. Peace and blessing to the Akim that has their life daily, pushing this truth with sincerity into the Aqua lesson and learning. Shalom. And my name is Ainan with GMS Detroit Bar Camp. Quick lesson on be aware of what you got yourself into. This is for the brothers that just came in. This thing of ours, even though we get the victory, some of us might end up having to give up the ghost for this thing, for our faith. It might just happen that way. That it might be the ultimate test from the Most High, seeing will we lay down our life for this truth. And I ain't saying that that you should willingly throw your life away like this or provoke the Lord. It's gonna come to a point where the MOTB and MOTB it's gonna be a choice. Is you gonna hold your integrity and give up the ghost for your belief, or will you accept that thing? And I have examples in here about men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that hold their integrity, and some died and some didn't. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai preserved them and kept them alive. And I'm gonna just go through them and like standing firm for this thing. And this is Revelations 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. And man, this ain't living. If you consider this a life, even these rich motherfuckers, they not happy. They have a lot of substance, but a lot of them are not happy. They're miserable. And you have to understand that a not to be afraid of anything that happens to you or in this side of life, because Yahweh Shem Yahshua can bring you right back from the spirit world and put you right back in a newer body, a better body than what the body that you have on now. This is Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And in all, we want that crown. We want that penny from Yahushua. We want that crown and them arms that Yahushua is going to put on our heads. We're at the if we of the hopeful elect in the 1/3. We want this sacrifice is worthy for receiving the rewards that the Most High is going to bestow upon us for us doing this work, being faithful unto death. Sacrificing everything. And this is Revelations 20:4. And I saw the thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw of the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh and for the word of Yahweh, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, that brain chip, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with the Messiah for 1,000 years. Hey, coming soon, you're going to have to make a choice. What will you do? You know? Hey, is you going to accept the new swine? Or are you going to willing to hold fast, to stand firm? You know? You know? Matter of fact, here are a few examples of men standing firm. Yeah, yeah, this is what I wanted. This is this is First Kings 19 and 14, and he said, "I have been very jealous for Yahweh of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant and thrown down thy altar, and have slain thy prophets with the sword." And the prophets back here was slain for when they came out, because every time when the prophets came out, the words that the prophets came out of here and came out and spoke, they was killing them for it, because they didn't want to hear the words that the Most High had judgment against them. You know, and even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And Yahweh said unto me, say unto him, go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and then thou comest to anoint Hazael to be king of Assyria. And what the point is, right here. The point is right here in 1 Kings 9, 19, and 18. Because these prophets, they wouldn't matter of fact, let's just keep reading. And say unto them, go unto the wilderness, and when thou comest to anoint Hazael to be king of Assyria, and Jethro the son of Hemishu, thou shalt appoint to be king over Israel, and Elisha, and the son of Shaphat of Ammelhala, thou shalt anoint to be a prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass that him that escaped the sword of Jaziel, and Jaziel shall slay, and him that escaped from the sword of Jaziel shall Elisha slay. And yet I have left me 7,000 men in Israel, and all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal. And they was killing the prophets over that damn deity, that false god Baal, and every mouth which had not kissed him. And these prophets, men of old, that would give up the ghost, just not to even bend a knee for a false god. Here go another example. Nebuchadnezzar made an image. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose weight was 3/4 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 6 cubits, and he set it up in a plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, the captains, and the judges, the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication to the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And then the princes and the governors and the captains and the judges and the treasurers and the counselors and the sheriffs and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image, and that the king had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And then the herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and tongues, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the palsy, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast in the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, and the sackbut, and the palsy, and all kind of music, and all the people and nations and tongues fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And wherefore, all that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews, and they spoke and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O live forever, thou king, hast thou made a decree that every man shall hear the sound? And well, I'm gonna just go down to the point. I'm gonna skip down to the point. Daniel 13 and 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when they brought these men before the king, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is this true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up, an idol, and false gods? Now, if ye be ready at the time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, and the palsy, and the dulcimer, and all kind of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? And man, he was mocking the Most High right then at that time, and man, Yahweh Shim Shai got him good. At his end of his days, he jacked him up real bad. If you read further on, this is 13 Daniel 3 and 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, We are not careful to answer thee in this matter, If thou be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, it be known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury from his vicious, changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wherefore he spoke and commanded that they should heat up the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the fiery furnace. And these men were bound in their coats and their hosen and their hats and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace is seething hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down in the midst of the fiery burning furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spoke and said unto this council, did we not cast these three men and bound them into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. And he answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt from the form of from the from form of the fourth is like the son of Yahweh. And then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning furnace and spoke and said Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Yahweh, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and that's an example of a holding your integrity, of not worshiping other gods. And is even more. A, 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 Daniel went through it, and he was thrown into the lion's den. Uh, um, uh, um, uh, uh, um, uh, um, Matter of fact, this is one of my favorite ones. This is Second Maccabees 6:18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, a aged man and a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine flesh. This is over eating pork. He laid down his life. Instead of eating pork, he held his integrity. But rather to die glorious than to live with a stain with such abomination, to spit it forth, and came to his own accord to the torment. And it's abomination, animal. It's abominable beast, and it's abomination for us men of Israelites to be eating pork. And it's a sin, man. It's a high sin to eat pork. As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things, as is not lawful for love of life to be tasted. It's not lawful for you to just live a little while longer if you just taste some pork, because the king decreed that you should eat it. It's not lawful for you. but they had charge of the wicked feast, and for the old acquaintance that they had with the man, taking him aside and besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, and such as lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, in that so doing that he might be delivered from death, for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, as became his age, and the excellence of his years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was came, and his most honest education from a child, to rather the holy law made and given by God. Well, Yahweh, I read it verbatim. Yahweh, therefore, he answered accordingly, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave. He wasn't about to eat none of that pork. He wanted to go straight to the grave. Hey, that's integrity. Standing for something, you know? And so, through my hypocrisy and a desire to live a little time, a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. Hey, hey, you could do one thing, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not dealing with you. Moses couldn't go to the land of milk and honey because he smoked the rock instead of speaking to it. Give Yahweh Shem Yahushai his reverence. You know, a therefore now manfully changing his life, I will show myself such as one as my age require, and leave a notable example such as to be young, to willingly die courageously for an honorable holy laws. And when he said these words, he immediately went to the torment. And they that led him changed their mood, and they bear him a little before into hatred, because he foresaid speeches proceeded, as they thought, from him from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto Yahweh that had the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, now I endure so sore pains and body for being beaten, but in my soul I am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And you know, a lot of you don't fear the Most High. You don't fear Yahweh. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua got put the fear in you, because hey, man, y'all don't fear him. And y'all fools for not fearing him, because he can destroy your body and your soul. But and thus this man died, living his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial virtue, and not only to young men, but to all of this nation, his nation. And man, I keep bringing this account over and over again. Hey, he showed you how to live courageously, and instead of falling for it. This is Acts 5:17. The high priest rose up, and they that were with them the Sadducees were filled with imagination and laid hands on the apostles and put them in a common prison. But the angel of Yahweh by night opened the prison doors and brought them forth and said, "Go and stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life." And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came and they that were with him, and they called the council together and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. And I'm gonna just get straight to the point because my time is going down. Uh, uh, um, uh, uh, straight to the point. Uh, uh, um, Straight to the point. Obeying Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, his law, statutes, commandments. This Acts 5:25, and then came one saying to them, "Behold, these men ye put in prison, standing in the temple, teaching the people." And they was teaching what the angel told them to do. Teach what Yahweh Shai taught them. Hey, that's what they was teaching. They was teaching the gospel. And the captives went with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people lest they should be stoned. And let me just go straight to and they had brought them, and they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, "Did we not straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intended to bring this man blood upon us." And then Peter and the apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey Yahweh rather than men." And hey, you have to obey Yahweh Bashim Yahushai rather than men. You know, the seven Maccabee brothers, example of holding your integrity. You know, you know, the seven Maccabee brothers and their mother, you know, gave up their life, gave up the ghost for the law, statutes, commandments of this book, you know, and the MOTB, it's gonna come to a point where you're gonna either have to take it or you're gonna lay down your life because of the law, statutes, commandments for it. You know, this is Revelations 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image should both speak and cause many that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And and if you don't set the MOTB, draconian measures gonna come upon you, and they gonna kill you for it, man. They gonna put you to death for it. And man, you know, let me hurry up and try to get through some of these more of these scriptures, you know, right quick, because this is what you have to look for, you know, what's coming, and if you do end up giving up the ghost for your faith, your belief, and your hope, and you out there doing the work, know this. This is Revelations 14 and 13. I heard a voice from heaven saying, "Blessed." I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, "Right, blessed are the dead, which die in Yahweh from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them." Hey, 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 the scriptures say your works follow you. Uh, 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 uh. Hey. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For Yahweh have not given us a spirit of fear, but the power of love and of a sound mind. Hey, man. Hey, we not afraid, because we know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua can raise us back from the dead. But don't tempt the Lord, you know. Don't do nothing stupid, nothing foolish. Hey, don't tempt the Lord, you know. This is Matthew 10 and 28. I'm just going straight to the point. Fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And y'all don't fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Y'all feared him. You will walk in the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. You want to be trying to be a friend of this world, because anybody is a friend of the world is an enemy of the Most High. You be trying to do things well pleasing unto him, you know. And if you do go in the spirit world, he's going to bring you. He could bring you back if you have the lekin of 1/3. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. And I remember when Yahweh Shai brought the little maiden up when he said she's sleeping, and they laughed to scorn him. You know, he brought her back from the dead. You know, in a moment, from a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for a trumpet shall sound, and he even said Lazarus sleepeth. And the apostle said, the disciples said, if he's sleeping, doing good. And then Yahweh Shai had to plainly say, Lazarus is dead, you know. But he brought him back from the grave. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, the sound of the last trump. Oh shit. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this immortal must put on immortality. And when we come back, we're gonna be immortals, the immortals. We're gonna have them new bodies, some new everlasting bodies that live forever with spiritual powers. No, I don't want that. And matter of fact, I don't want that either. Nope, don't want that either. This I'm gonna end it with this, because you gotta understand what when you take Yahweh Shai's cup, understand Yahweh Shai was beaten, bruised, whipped with 9 tails, and then hanged on the cross and put to death. And a lot of you stupid ass niggas wear a fucking cross around your neck, his instrument of death, and put that shit in your fucking houses. And this is John 13:16. Verily I say unto you, the servant is no greater than his Lord, neither is the servant greater than he that sent him. And remember the word of John 15:20. Remember the word that I say unto you, the servant is no greater than his Lord. If they persecute me, they will also persecute you. And if ye have kept my saying, they will also keep yours also. So, persecution's coming. The scriptures say through much tribulation, uh, 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 um, uh, 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 um, we entered into the kingdom. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get it. Oh, there you go, right there. This is Acts 14 and 22, confirming the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter the kingdom of heaven. So we must through much tribulation, and tribulation is troubles, afflictions, anguish, persecution, burden, to be afflicted with. This is going to happen. Distress, straits. Understand what you're getting yourself into. That's it. So with that said, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yashai, double honor Apostle Elvis GMS, and Shalom.